So the next speaker is Sheila Bryan. Okay, so don't pronounce it as Sheila. It's Sheila. Nos advirtió. Sheila Bryan, all the way from Colombia. But she's going to spice things up because she feels a little bit more comfortable in English than what she does in Spanish nowadays. She is the CEO of her own company called Empowerment Academy for Women. So as you will see, she's an entire badass that has a very strong career, and now she dedicates her life to empower other women so that they can also become badasses and believe in themselves and do their thing. But today she's going to tell us about how hard it was to get there, right? So Sheila, join me on the stage, please.
Bueno, a mí no me molesta hablar en español, pero prometí que le iba a dar mi foco en inglés. Pero todos aquí están cómodos en inglés, o porque lo puedo hacer arrancado en colombiano mezclado con americano. Okay, so how many of us in here have had hopes and dreams and say, okay, I want to do better in life, right? I want more, I want to do better. That was me. In 2012, I got introduced to the industry of network marketing. And when I got introduced to the industry, I was like, wow, I went to a conference. This was me back then, you know. Obviously, I look a lot different because fuck-ups do that to you, right? It changes you. So I went to an event in California, and I took a flight with my youngest daughter. I'm a mom of 4, right? I have a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old, 16, and now 10. But back then, she was a 3-month-old baby. I got on a plane, and I went to California, and I was in an arena with 20,000 people. And if you know anything about energy, you know being in an arena with 20,000 excited people, you feel some type of way, right? So I felt invisible. I felt like, okay, this is the day that my life changed forever. I could not come back to Miami and do the same thing. So I had hopes, aspirations, and dreams, and I said, okay, I'm coming to Miami, and I'm gonna do what I saw was gonna happen that I saw in California. I'm gonna come, I'm gonna be on stage, I'm gonna do all the presentation, I'm gonna talk about the business, I'm gonna make a lot of money, I'm gonna travel the world, I'm gonna have nice things. That's what I said, but obviously it was a lie, okay? So what I did, one of my biggest fuck-ups outside of lying to myself that I was gonna have all of these things, I came to Miami and I bought a Benz because what? I saw all those people on the big screen with nice cars and yachts and doing all these amazing things because money was afforded to do that. But remember, I just got started. I hadn't even made it nowhere to make the kind of money to do the things that those folks were doing. So I compared my chapter 1 to their chapter 65. So that was one of my greatest fuck-ups, was to come back to Miami and get in debt. I bought a Benz. I bought a bunch of material stuff that I did not need, having 4 children. And the debt that I got myself into from this fuck-up led me to sleeping with my children in the dark. My lights were cut off. I have 3-day notices for like 6 months. Every month I had a 3-day notice of eviction on my door. Because, again, I lied to myself. It's a serious fuck-up, right? So don't lie to yourself. So I went back to California for another one of those events because I was like, no, this has got to be me. There's something wrong with me. I'm going back for more training. So at the end of this second event, I come back, and guess what happens? The same thing. Has anybody ever heard of the term insanity? Right? So that was me, another fuck up. Listen, I'm giving you just short versions of fuck up after fuck up after fuck up that has led me to be where I am today. But the reality was, if you're like me, if you're a Cancer, right? But if reality is, some people, when you really hit rock bottom in life, you can either get upset or you can cry. I cried. I cried night after night. I would lay in my bed and I would think of my children in their room, in their beds, and thinking to myself, I could not do this any longer. I had to get real with myself. And I had to look at life from a different perspective. So first, I had to put myself in a position to where I had to get educated. I had to get real with myself. And I love what Lucas said. You have to really put yourself first. So I had to get my mind right. So when you get to the rock bottom of fucking up, you have to fuck your way out of it by getting yourself mentally stimulated. I read books. I did a lot of personal development. I went to a lot of conference, and I got a mentor. And when I got a mentor, I understood where I was fucking up. And after that, my fourth year into the company, I was able to hit a position called a promotion to six-figure income. But I had to fuck up night after night, week after week, year after year. Eventually, I realized that all that I was going through, all I could do was tell people who wanted to be like me that if you're going through hell, guess what you do? Keep going. So if someone in here tonight feels like your life, like I'm going through hell right now, my word for you tonight is keep going. Because as you continue to fuck up through life, you're going to learn, because all your fuck ups do is teach you. Your failures, aka fuck ups, are teachers for you that leads you to now become a teacher to others. So how cool is it that you get to fuck up in life and turn around and use those same lessons to teach other people to come through, overcome their same experiences? Because I promise you, any parents in the room? Anybody in here besides me have babies, right? So as a parent, sometimes you feel like a failure, right? But you understand when you talk to other parents, now it's the reality, I'm not alone. So every single one of us in this room feels like we've failed, we've fucked up at something, but guess what? All of us in the room are what? A room full of fuck ups. So you're not alone. No matter what your fuck up is or what it looks like, just know you're not alone. So here's my life motto. This is what I believe. We are trained by our troubles. Our affliction is working for us. So you have the power to change your thoughts. Your trials, your troubles, your fuck-ups are working for you. So embrace them. Learn to look at them as nothing but the elevator, escalator, or your parachute, whichever one works for you as the tool to keep going. Because I promise you, it will always look the way you want it to look until you have gone on the other side of that fuck-up. And with that, I am so grateful to be here tonight. I thank you guys very much for having me. And that is pretty much the end of my fuck-up story. So I'm open for questions. I'm open for questions. Questions. Which one I go? ¿Por dónde voy primero? Okay, contigo primero.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello. No, ya ese no vale. Este ya no, sí, ya no vale.
Me gusta tu pregunta. So, siempre lo que yo tenía en mente es hacer algo con mi vida. Aportar, contribuir a la vida de otras personas. So, yo siempre he pensado de mí misma desde que era una niña en Colombia. Mucha gente me decía en la escuela, pero Sheila, vos hablas tan bien, siempre eres tan positiva, siempre, o sea, uno siempre desde pequeño le dicen a uno lo que uno es bueno haciendo tal cosa, pero por el creciendo y llegando lo que uno hace mejor de niño, entonces yo tuve que regresar a esa niña que siempre aspiraba a ser alguien que aportara a la vida de otros, que es lo que hago hoy día. Yo aporto a la vida de las mujeres, que les enseño cómo desarrollarse emocionalmente, cómo desarrollarse en temas de y me encanta hacer eso. También tengo otro, le dicen 9 to 5, y soy operadora de manager de una empresa de aviación en Fort Lauderdale. So, los dueños son argentinos, los dueños de la empresa son amazing people, pero también hago eso como otro source of income. Pero buena pregunta. Lili. Well, I love that question as well. So my children have always been my biggest supporters. anything I've ever done, I introduced it to my children. But when we were going through those struggles where we were, home with no lights, I used to tell the children, remember when we have hurricanes? We're Floridians, right? You've been here long enough. Has anybody experienced a hurricane? We know the power goes out. So when we had no power, I would just give them little stories to tell them this is no different from when the power goes out. That just simply means that this month, mommy did not make enough to get the lights going, but we never went without eating. So I had to choose, are we gonna go without eating or without power? And as any parent will do, you would rather feed them because light is but for so many hours. So they always kept me motivated. And my children, because I was always honest and authentic with them, there was never a time that I felt pity to not go through what we were going through together. And I promise you, I just dropped my daughter, my 20-year-old, to college. So she's in Bethune-Cookman in Daytona. So she's gonna be a college graduate in the next couple of years. My second daughter, she will be enrolling in IT school, so one of you guys will be her boss soon. My son is 16 years old. He is in varsity basketball. He's already ranked number 30 in the top 30 of the state of Florida, so he's doing amazing in basketball. And my 10-year-old is just the sweetest pumpkin on the planet. But I'm so grateful that, and they don't remember most of those things. They wouldn't remember as they get older in life, but always kept honesty and transparency with my kids. So thank you for that question. And one more question?
Well, actually, mine was also related to your kids. Yeah. I want to thank you because your story is very parallel to my mother's. So,
Wow.
So I think it's very brave of you to come here and tell your story. So just
Thank you. I appreciate that. Awesome. So I'm going to respect the next speaker. So back to you. Thank you.
And wait, we have a value for you as well, Sheila. Because you're definitely the evidence of living the life without filters. As a successful woman, you just came here and told us about your darkest time, literally and figuratively. So thank you for that.